Sandra Ghouse. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Can you remember what you were like when you were a teenager? Full of boundless energy, full of curiosity to explore and try everything. Yes, being a teenager was so much of fun, wasn't it? So if you could live your life like a teenager again, how would you live it differently? Well, the first thing I would do is I would work on my dressing. You see, what happened was, when I was a teenager, my parents used to control my dressing. They had this image that their teenage daughter should look like Laura Ingalls of Little House on the Prairie. So there was I in frilly dresses and puffy sleeves. And other parents would congratulate them and say, "So sweet la your daughter, so demure." But I was not interested in attracting other parents. I wanted to attract the boys. So if I was a teenager again, I would definitely change my dressing. Because I don't want to have frilly dresses, and neither do I want to have... Anyone want to help me? And neither do I want to have puffy sleeves. I want to look cool, like Richie Chong, who looks younger every year. You see, to me, ladies and gentlemen, I think that teenagers should feel free to express themselves through their dressing. Not that I want to look holy, but I think it's so important that we express ourselves. Now, talking about expressing ourselves, when I was a teenager, I had a lot of problems communicating. We were suppressed by our adults. We were suppressed by our parents, our teachers. And I find that teenagers today have the same problem. Every morning, I send a bunch of kids to school, and I have a tremendous problem communicating with them. Because every time I try to have a conversation with them, I would get monosyllable replies. How are you? Fine. How was school? Good. These kids need Toastmasters, don't you agree? So if I was a teenager, I'd champion Toastmasters in every class, in every school, at every home. We could have mini Toastmaster meetings at home. Your father could be the timekeeper. Your mother could be the grammarian. We could deliver speeches. We could have table topics. Just imagine how Toastmasters can enhance our life at home. Yes, being a teenager is full of trials and tribulations, especially these days where there are a lot more social ills. There are a lot more dangers. Teenage rapes are on the increase. There's a lot more dangers like ecstasy around. If I was a teenager, to fight crime, I would take up self-defense classes, martial art classes. I mean, what's the point of going for ballet classes? If I was attacked by a rapist, what do? Do a pirouette? No, what I'd like to do is to show him some of my Jackie Chan movements and kick his butt. Can you imagine if all teenagers were sent for martial art classes? We would be able to fight crime. We would be super teenagers. Powerpuff Girls, you can stand aside. Ladies and gentlemen, being a teenager is so much of fun. There are so many things that we can learn. We have a lot of boundless energy. But the question is, if you could be a teenager, how would you live your life differently? Wait a minute, we don't have to wish that we were a teenager, because the teenager that was once in us is still in us, waiting to come out. But what has happened? Why have we grown old? Whenever I ask adults, how are you? They would tell me, okay lah, stressed out law, busy, still alive. What has happened? What has taken away our youth? My philosophy is we should learn, love, and live. Learn by having the courage to stretch. Learn by not saying, I know it all, and wanting to learn from everyone and everything. Love in any way you can. If you have a chance to steal a glance at Joseph Gomez, go ahead. If KKG smiles at you and your heart starts to pound, let it pound away. Put love in everything that you do. Have passion. When you wake up in the morning, wake up with full of love and passion. Live. Life is short. It is ours to live. We need to live life to the fullest, like Papa Gerald Green, who is a teenager always at heart. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't need to wake up in the morning and have a midlife crisis. All we need to do is to get up, walk out of this convention hall, and live life to our fullest by learning, loving, and living. Have fun. Back to you.
SAA, can you please escort the contestants to the waiting room where they will be given 5 minutes to prepare their evaluations. Now I have 5 minutes here to get rid of. Do you want to know more about Sandra Ghouse? Where is she from? Let's put up our hand if you want to know more about her. Sandra Ghouse, you're wanted. All right, she's putting on her pants. Any question you want to ask her? This is interviewing time.
Thank you, Dr. Shahrin Tong. In fact, Toastmasters has made a big, huge difference in my life. I've always been in a confined environment because I started working in a company at the age of 18, and for 19 years, I'm still working in that same company. Yes, so I found that the people that I worked with were people whom I was comfortable. But when I came to Toastmasters, there were many different personalities, many different characters. And it made a huge difference in my life because it taught me how to respect people. It taught me how to get along with different personalities. And even if there were people who didn't perform, it taught me how to be patient, not to get angry, but to believe that everyone has their own way to contribute in Toastmasters.
Not yet. Any more questions you want to ask?